They don't talk about it, but you feel it. Late at night, when the world quiets down and the noise inside you doesn't. The phone glows in your hand. Your mind spins. Your body feels restless, alive even. But your soul, it's missing. So you scroll. You click. You chase images, fantasies, surges of stimulation. Not because you're broken. Not even because you're lustful. But because you're empty. You tell yourself it's biology. Stress. Just a release. But deep down, you know, even while chasing it, you're not really there. Your body moves, but your heart drifts elsewhere. And when it ends, the silence crashes back. The ache returns. Not guilt from morality, but from meaninglessness. You've felt it before. Not just after, but during. Even when it's wild, intense, thrilling. Something inside stays cold, untouched. You say it's about pleasure. But what if it never was? What if it's about the wound? The one that never bled but hollowed you out. The one no one ever saw. The one you never spoke. Carl Jung once said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul." What if lust isn't about desire at all? What if it's about escape? Escape from the silence of your unmet self. You don't want her. You want to be held. You want to be seen without performing. You want to be known without earning it. But instead, you chase pixels. Moments. A surge of aliveness that dies as quickly as it comes. And what's left? The same ache. The same void. The same unanswered question. You're not chasing her. You're chasing the version of you that she awakens. The part that longs to feel whole. It's not about lust. It's about loss. Loss of connection. To your body. To your truth. To your soul. And here's the most brutal truth. Lust isn't the enemy. It's the symptom. It's the soul speaking in the only language it knows. A cry for something real. Let me tell you a story. There was a man. Confident. Ambitious. Desired. By all appearances, he had it together. He thought what he felt was lust. He believed every conquest proved his power. But alone at night, next to a woman who once thrilled him, he felt nothing. No connection. No fire. Only the ache. He kept chasing, kept performing, until one day, he asked, "What if I don't actually want her? What if I just don't want to feel alone?" And everything unraveled. He realized he didn't crave her. He craved escape, not love, not intimacy, just silence relief. That's what most people never see. Lust has become a drug, a dopamine loop, trigger, fantasy, release, numbness, repeat. And the more you feed it, the less alive you feel. Because it's not rooted in presence. It's rooted in performance. Carl Jung didn't see lust as a moral failure. He saw it as a spiritual flare, a signal from the unconscious, a warning from the soul. Because when you're truly whole, you don't chase, you don't cling, you don't search for proof in someone else's skin. You become desire itself. You radiate from within. You don't need to consume beauty, because you've remembered your own. But to get there, you must stop lying. Stop calling it just biology. Stop calling it normal. It's not a need. It's a mask. A mask hiding the fact that you've been disconnected for far too long. So the next time the craving rises, don't act on it. Don't repress it. Just pause and ask, what am I really hungry for? And maybe the answer isn't sex, not release, but something softer, something ancient, something that sounds like, I want to be held, I want to be known, I want to come home to myself. You think it's lust, but maybe it's hunger, not the kind that comes from your body, but from your soul. Because lust is rarely about sex. It's about escape from the ache of disconnection. You reach again, not for pleasure, but for proof. Proof that you still matter, that you're still alive, that someone wants you. But the more you chase the high, the more the void deepens. There's a wound inside you. Maybe you don't know its name. Maybe you've denied it so long, it speaks in symbols now. Desire, addiction, shame. It shows up in your scrolling, in your cravings, in the silence that feels like suffocation. Because what you call lust might just be your soul's way of screaming, "Feed me something real." There was once a boy, quiet, soft, curious in a world that demanded toughness. He wanted to be held, to be heard, to be loved without having to earn it. But love came with conditions. Smile more, cry less, be useful, be strong. So he performed. He became what they needed, and forgot who he was. He grew into a man, confident on the outside, but inside, still that little boy, looking out a window, wondering why love always felt like a reward instead of a right. He chased women, not to connect, but to feel. He believed it was lust. He called it masculine. But it wasn't sex he wanted. It was safety. Not her body, but her gaze. That made him forget he never got to be a child in peace. You see, when a boy grows up unseen, he becomes a man addicted to being desired. Because desire feels like visibility, like proof he exists. But no woman, no matter how radiant, can rewrite that story. Only he can. By turning inward. By coming home to the part of him still waiting to be seen. Because it was never about her. It was always about himself. Carl Jung called this the anima, the inner feminine that lives inside every man. Not gender, but essence, tenderness, emotion, surrender. When you disconnect from it, you start projecting it onto her, onto women, onto fantasy. So when you meet her, and she feels like magic, it's not because she completes you. It's because she reminds you of you. You're not falling in love with her. You're falling in love with the part of yourself you forgot. But here's the danger. If you don't recognize this, you'll turn her into a fantasy. And fantasies collapse. You'll expect her to carry your unhealed pain. But she wasn't made for that. So the relationship breaks. Not because of her, but because you were never really with her. You were with your projection. Carl Jung warned us. When the anima is unconscious, a man becomes enslaved by erotic fantasy. He doesn't see the woman. He sees the myth, the symbol. But when she becomes human, when she has limits, boundaries, flaws, he feels betrayed. But the betrayal isn't hers. It's the soul reminding him. This isn't your path to wholeness. This is your mirror. Look inward. So the next time you feel that magnetic pull, stop. What part of me is she awakening? Is it your softness? Your hunger to be held? Your lost tenderness? Because when you see clearly, everything shifts. You stop chasing women to feel complete. You begin reclaiming the parts of yourself you once gave away. You don't need her to feel whole. You needed to remember you were whole all along. She was never the answer. She was the mirror, the messenger, the flame that pointed you home. And when you finally arrive, when you meet the boy beneath the armor, when you hear the voice that whispers, "Please don't leave me again," that's where the journey begins. You don't need more highs, more bodies, more noise. You need presence, stillness, reunion with yourself. Because lust, when seen clearly, is not sin. It's a signal. Your soul saying, "I'm still here. I've been waiting. Come back." If this stirred something inside you, don't ignore it. Subscribe to Thinstory for more videos that don't just entertain, but awaken. This isn't about shame. It's about remembering. The journey has just begun, and you don't have to walk it alone.